So what I have here is a prototype Tizen device. This is running on an ARM chip. This is the reference device that Samsung is handing out to developers to get them to test applications for Tizen. This is just an initial release of Tizen. There are not many core apps bundled as yet. I mean, there's not even a camera app, so this is very, very bare bones. But this is what Tizen represents right now. Again, this is reference design. It's just been put together for developers to test out. But what I'm really interested in is in the UI. Now, since Samsung has had a lot to do with how Tizen's come about, you will see that the UI has borrowed extensively from TouchWiz, the skin that Samsung kind of puts on Android, and is even similar to what Bada looks like. So this is again the pull-down notification area, very like Android, like TouchWiz. There's a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, vibration and rotation toggle, and then you can push it up. This is your home button. There's only this one dedicated home button which brings you back to the home screen from wherever you are. Otherwise, you can hit this button and it'll do the same purpose. So there's a possibility of making an absolutely button-free device. The core applications are fairly simple. Again, all of them are made in HTML5, and this is the first release. And this is not even proper hardware, so I am not sure if it represents the speed and performance of Tizen as such, but this is what we have running. A long press of this button brings up this task switcher, which lets you switch between apps. Has a history of the apps that you've recently used and all the applications that are currently running, so you can kill an application at a time, free up some RAM, or you can choose to kill all applications. This device is using 1024 pixel by 720 pixel, so about an HD screen. So Tizen is very much a high-end platform. It will possibly have pretty expensive high-end devices coming on Tizen, because if they're using HD screens and things like that, it's definitely not targeted towards the lower end. In terms of what else we can see, there's the settings menu, which is again very similar to what we've previously seen Samsung do on their devices. So there's tethering support built out of box, location services. This device doesn't have a SIM. There are other options. There's always a back key that pops up in the right hand corner. Apart from that, you can possibly put accounts in. So you have support for Samsung, MSN, Exchange, Google, Facebook, Twitter. So that's a pretty extensive list of services that are supported in Tizen. And let's get back to where we were. Okay, so there's support for NFC as well. And then you can choose contact and event synchronization. There's push notification built out of the box as well, which is very nice. So possibly you won't really need dedicated applications as far as Facebook and Twitter are concerned, because the phone should be able to handle all of them. Again, I haven't tried this, but I think that is the intent Samsung has had. The dialer again looks very similar to the Android Samsung dialer. Contacts, log, and you have a list of contacts. You can tap one to go in. You can even choose to edit that. There's support for a bunch of fields. You can put them in, and this button takes you back to the home screen. The icon for the gallery is very similar to what Samsung's done in the past. So this is the gallery application, and fairly basic. I don't think you can use this to edit applications, but the good thing is that they have support for places, so it'll your photos will show up on the map, which is always a nice thing. And you can tag them as well. There's a dedicated music client. Again, nothing exceptional which we haven't seen. A quick look at the web browser running on this Tizen reference device. This device has the best HTML5 score, so if you just quickly pop over to that website, as you can see, 408 points with 15 bonus points, which is exceptional for any web browser. But what I'm also keen to see is how that translates into general web browser performance. Again, this is a reference design, so this is not what you should expect the final version to be. But I have the handheld blog open, and as you can see, it seems to be very smooth. The scrolling is fast, and since this is an HD screen, the text is nice and crisp. The colors displayed really nicely, and it's still very smooth. You can't really, you can zoom in, but there's no automatic text reflow. But even that zooming in is fairly fast. There's hardly any checkered boxes which people generally come to expect. Apart from that, let's see how YouTube or some of those other websites do. My YouTube, there's searches inbuilt, so you can quickly just start typing the name, and let's see whichever video comes up. Watch video, and there it is. So it starts playing very quickly. It's playing in pretty exceptional quality. So there's HQ playback right out of the box, even with the web version of YouTube. It's fairly fluid, but it is right now not really up to the standards consumers would expect, and that is why this is just the initial release. This is not even prototype device. It's purely a reference design for the developers to check their applications out. So consider it very much a very first look. This will possibly in no way even represent the kind of devices that Tizen comes out with, but it is a good indicator of what to expect in terms of the UI,